Hello everybody. Thursday, March 5th today when I'm recording this video. Hope everybody's having a good day. This is a Daily Mail story from 3 days ago. I just didn't have a chance to cover this because I was talking more about Super Tuesday and like Corona and stuff like that. It's something that I wanted to talk about, something that's important to me, and it's a sad story for sure, and I feel like a great deal of, like I said, sadness just kind of talking about it. It's something I cover with a heavy heart. It hurts to have to do these stories like this, and I know it's kind of like a wimpy thing to say, but hopefully you all are touched by this in a way too, where it makes you feel some kind of way. All right, so let's cover this real quick. Try not to get too much into it just because it's really sad. So it says here, Mexican immigrant who was released by Chicago authorities despite ICE telling them not to, went on to, I've got a kind of like a language blocker software on there, but so it says he went on to, a 3-year-old girl in McDonald's as she cried, "Daddy, Daddy." That's kind of like I said, thing that'll hit you like right there. We can't really make out the bullet points on the top. I was trying to get rid of this thing here at the top, but I couldn't get it to go away. It says here, he's accused of assaulting the girl at the restaurant. His bond hearing in Cook County. We heard the facts of it, which is where she cried there. And then ICE had requested that police continue to detain him. So let's get into some of the facts real quick. And basically, like I said, I think we know the story, and here's this piece of shit right here. A Mexican immigrant who was released by Chicago authorities, despite ICE telling them not to, went on to, 3-year-old girl at McDonald's as she cried, "Daddy, Daddy." Christopher Puente is accused of sexually assaulting the girl at the restaurant around 8 a.m. on February 19th. The alleged attack happened while the girl's father was in another stall with her brother, who had an accident in the restaurant. However, ICE had requested that police continue detaining the previously deported felon, who had convictions for forced entry, burglary, and robbery. Despite his background, Chicago declined ICE's June 2019 request to detain Puente. ICE have said this is an increasingly common battle, with the agency reporting that Cook County, which includes Chicago, denied more than 1,000 detainer requests in 2019 alone. Puente's bond hearing in Cook County heard the little girl's mouth was covered as she began whimpering "Daddy, Daddy" before her father pulled her legs from under the door to get her to safety. The horrific ordeal was relayed in court where the accused, apparently I need to add some more words to my censoring software. I thought that those words would be added in already. It looks like I have to add them in manually. So it says he appeared for the first time. Scroll down here a little bit more. How many more victims must there be before lawmakers realize that sanctuary policies do not protect the innocent? Puente should have been in ICE custody last year and removed to his home country. Instead, irresponsible lawmaking allowed him to walk free and prey on our most vulnerable, he told Fox News. Images of Puente on surveillance footage were circulated through the community alert, and he was later brought in by police for an unrelated criminal trespass before being linked to the assault case. So here's kind of the meat of the story here. The accused is said to have admitted to investigators he put the toddler on his lap, assaulted her, and covered her mouth to stop her calling for help. The child's dad then tried to open the locked cubicle after hearing his daughter's calls, before dragging her by her legs from under the door, reports CBS Chicago. The alleged attacker then fled the McDonald's, and a manhunt was launched for Puente, now facing charges of predatory criminal assault of a victim younger than 13 years old. Prosecutors said the defendant told police he was effed up and thinking dirty, and that he was high at the time. He also said he was paranoid and looking around as he left the bathroom because he knew what he did was wrong. All right, so again, that's the story. As I said, I definitely don't like bringing stories out like this. I don't like having to talk about it. I don't like seeing these things happen, and it happens far too often in our society. I mean, I'm not even going to get into the whole thing about him should not have been out in the community to begin with. What I think when I hear about stories like this, and I guess to tie it to that real quick, there's a lack of accountability. When the city of Chicago, in this case, makes the decision that they make, they have no accountability. When this guy goes on to do what he did to this child, allegedly, there's no accountability there. Whoever made the call, their hands are clean. They don't care. Just like that one guy who killed that woman, Kate Steinle, in San Francisco and ultimately ended up getting acquitted. Whoever's allowing these individuals back on the streets, and again, legal, whatever their status, who's ever allowing these individuals back onto the streets, they have no accountability. They don't care. At the end of the day, they go home, they cash their paycheck. So that's why it's easy for them to make these decisions. And again, it's putting the rights of individuals who are criminals, like I said, be that legal or illegal, ahead of the rest of us who are actually out here following the law and just trying to live our lives the best way we can. A guy takes his kids into the bathroom at McDonald's. Come on, his son has to go to the bathroom, and then his daughter ends up getting taken into a stall by some predator. Come on. You know, I mean, stuff like this shouldn't happen. It's disgusting. It's a disgrace. And whether it's this kind of crime against a young person, older, somebody's killed, assaulted, whatever the age, I mean, it hits me the same. Obviously, we feel a certain way because it's somebody so young, it's a child, and we don't like to hear about these things, especially when it potentially could have or should have been prevented. But again, like I said, as long as there's no accountability for anybody who's making these decisions, then what do they care? They don't give a f about us. They don't care. They don't care about this girl. Nobody in Chicago who made that decision right now, they don't care. They're not sitting there at home right now thinking, oh man, that decision I made, it cost this girl a traumatic experience. It cost this father and his kid a traumatic experience. They don't care. So as long as you have a situation where there's no accountability, as I've said a couple times, nobody's going to care. You know, I care though. Hopefully you do. So again, like I said, it kind of hurts me to have to bring these stories. We definitely hear them. It's something I saw when I was doing some research, looking for other stories. So I wanted to talk about it and put it out there for people and just hope that things change and hope that people don't have to deal with this kind of stuff because we have so many young people who get preyed upon by adults in our society as it is. We don't need more. We don't need people getting out into our communities that should be locked up doing these things. We've already got a big enough problem with predators out there. We hear about the church stuff all the time. We hear about all these pedos running around. I mean, my God, you know, I mean, when is enough for this kind of stuff? And people, I don't understand. I don't understand the defect. I really don't. So that's the video I got. Like I said, kind of a downer video, but hopefully you got a little something out of it. And like I said, hopefully it at least touches you in some way like it did me. If you've got kids, if you're out there, guys, girls, you got relatives like young little nieces, nephews, whatever you have, cousins, just be on the lookout for them. Make sure they're safe. Just always try to keep an eye on them. I don't have kids myself, so I can't really speak to kind of like the parental bond and how you feel, but just always keep an eye on your kids. There's too many creeps out there on the streets, so just do your best to make sure that your kids and, like I said, your nieces, nephews, whatever loved ones are safe. So thanks again for watching, everybody, and take care of your family.